everyone, this is Dave from Geekanoids and this is my review of Apple's 6th generation iPod Nano. Now please check back on my channel a couple of days ago to see my unboxing of this tiny MP3 player. So, on with the review of the 6th gen iPod Nano. There's no click wheel now, it's all touchscreen. If I turn the device on, as you can see, we've got a really gorgeous 1.5 inch 240 by 240 pixel resolution screen. Now if I give you a close up of this, you can see the screen is extremely crisp, and that's thanks to its 220 pixels per inch. Now in my tests I also found this screen to be extremely responsive, and I'm going to show you exactly how it works during my user interface guide. Now to give you an idea of the size, these are the two bundled accessories that you get with the iPod Nano. You get this dock connector which plugs in via USB to your computer, and you also get a pair of Apple earphones. So I'm going to pop these to one side and give you a quick look around the device. So on the bottom we've got that 30-pin dock connector. That's where that cable connects, and then that connects to your computer via USB, and you use that connection for charging the device or for getting content onto the Nano. Then we've got a 3.5mm audio jack here. Both sides are completely clear. The top of the Nano has a power on off switch here, and also buttons for the volume up and down. And then around the back of the device we've got an Apple logo here, and this is also a clip for attaching the iPod Nano onto your clothing or perhaps a bag strap. Now this is great for if you're exercising, going down the gym, perfect for clipping to your clothing, and makes this a very usable MP3 player. So now let's have a closer look at the user interface. So let's have a look at music first, and this first screen on the user interface allows you to gain access to your playlists, now playing, artists or Genius mixes. Let's go into artists, and here I've got a selection of albums that I've got on my Nano. Let's go to all albums, and this gives you a graphical representation of the album artwork as well. And then we can tap through to go on to this Black Eyed Peas album, and then perhaps we want to play Rock That Body. And it starts playing automatically and gives you a larger view of the album artwork. Tap on the screen and it gives you some controls for pausing, for skipping backwards and forwards to different tracks. We can also get some information up here which tells you the other tracks that are on the album, and also allows you to rate the album as well. Let's go back one screen, and you'll also see two dots here. I can actually swipe to the right, and this gives us access to shuffle features and looping features, and also allows us to use this little control to skip through the track. Now whenever you want to go back one level in the menu, you just swipe backwards, and this goes all the way back out to that main menu. Let's have a look at the second screen of options on here, and here we can gain access to the radio, podcast, photos and settings. Let's have a look in photos, and here I've got some photos that I've synchronized over from iPhoto, and I'm going to have a look at events, and then some photos I took of my HTC Desire. And here we've got a grid view of all of the photos that appear in this particular event, and I can tap on one and look at that photo, and I can double tap to zoom in and then pan around, and then I can double tap to zoom out again, and then swipe through the event and all the way back out to grid view, all the way back out to events, and then perhaps back into another event. These were some close-ups I took with a CUD close-up kit. Again, I can tap to view, double tap to zoom in, double tap to zoom out. Now even though this is a 1.5 inch screen, it's still perfectly acceptable for viewing photos on. Now we've also got podcasts, so I can go into here, and one of the features that people complained about that was missing with the new 6th gen iPod Nano was the lack of video playback. Well, I do actually have a video podcast here, and if I start this playing, you will see that it doesn't actually play back the video. We get a static thumbnail of the video, but you do still get the audio. So it is a shame that it won't actually play back the video, but at least we've still got access to the content if we want to listen to the audio that's related to it. We've gone all the way back out again to this second screen of icons, and I can swipe to the right again and gain access to songs, albums, genres and composers. And then we can go on this last screen and we've got a fitness icon, and in here we've got a pedometer, so we can use this for tracking how many steps we take throughout the day, and it even records a history of previous days in there as well. And then last but not least, we've got a clock which shows this clock face. Absolutely superb for accessory manufacturers to bring out a wrist strap. Certainly can't wait for that myself. And if I was going to perhaps wear it in this orientation on the wrist strap using this clip on the back, then I can of course rotate that clock face round. And you can do this to any orientation and in any of the screens. So fantastic that they've at least implemented different orientations on here. And if I swipe to this side, I've also got access to a stopwatch with a start stop button and a reset, and then I've also got a countdown timer as well. And to get back out to the main user interface, we just swipe all the way back out to the left. Just to demonstrate that rotate, you can do this in any screen, so even the main user interface you can actually rotate as well. And if I wanted to bring my photos icon onto the home screen, I can touch and hold and then actually drag that across and put it perhaps in this bottom right hand corner so it appears on my first screen of icons. There is also a shortcut to the home screen as well, and that is if I'm perhaps in my photos and viewing some photos here, perhaps this one here, if I want to get back out to the home screen, I can just touch and hold and it will go back to the home screen without having to swipe all the way back every time. Now, audio quality on here is extremely good. The supplied headphones are more than adequate. It's very crisp and detailed, and I suppose the only negative is it can sound a little harsh at times. Battery life is also very good. It's quoted at 24 hours of audio playback, but I found that in my tests I was getting around 27 hours, which is absolutely amazing. The build quality of this device is awesome. Even this clip on the back feels as though it's going to last for an extremely long time. Now, when I first saw this device announced, I thought that this 1.5 inch touchscreen was going to be a real issue. I thought that it wasn't going to work very well, and for my size hands I thought it was going to be a problem to sort of get through the various screens and to actually make the Nano do what I wanted it to do. But it really hasn't been a problem. It's been an absolute joy to use. If you want a very sexy MP3 player for music only and the occasional viewing of photos, then this new 6th gen iPod Nano both looks and works perfectly. £129 gets you the 8GB version in the UK, and £159 will buy you the 16GB version. Thank you very much for listening. Please do subscribe to the Geekanoids channel for more great video reviews. This video is sponsored by mymemory.com. For great prices, fast delivery and reliable customer support, visit mymemory.com.